that it's all okay. And out of nowhere comes heartache and pain, raining down on your sunny day. We don't need the new world order, living free is our battle cry. We don't need the new world order, misinformation, modern love with lies. Hey, good morning. You know, the Robert Jeter Show, Blues in the News. I hope you're doing well. I'm here just giving you my 3 cents. You know, it's live. It's off the cuff. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you the way I feel, the way I think things are going. And I don't know if things are going good or if things are going bad. You know, it's really hard to say for sure. It depends on which morning you wake up and look at the news, you know? Some mornings you wake up and you say, yeah, democracy will survive in the United States. And yes, Israel will kick butt in the Middle East and destroy Hamas. And, you know, everything. And Donald Trump will get elected and bring back America to greatness again. And then other mornings you wake up and it's, oh my gosh, Kamala, Calamity Jane is going to get elected president of the United States. And you say, oh my gosh, Israel is going to lose to Iran. They're going to drop the big one. And you say, oh my gosh, the world is going to blow up any day from all these disasters. So it really depends on what day you wake up. You know, and it sort of makes you schizophrenic, right? You don't know if you're coming or you're going, yeah? Well, you got to step back, take a deep breath, and, you know, put your hands together, or however you pray, and look up to heaven, and know that God's in charge, you know? And I think things will turn out eventually for good, because good will win in the end. Justice, true justice, will prevail. And God, and if you're on the side of God, you're on the side of right. But I don't know what suffering you got to go through in the meantime. That's the question. I mean, look at all the propaganda. Look at all the mind control. Look at all the forces that the left have. They got all these billionaires. They got the media. They got the corporations. They got the education system. They got all the establishment, basically, in support of a buffoon, Kamala Harris, a Marxist, and her choice for BB, Timmy Waltz, who's going to waltz us into the end of the world, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it is the end of the world. Who knows? It's dark if you think they are going to win. Nobody listens to reason anymore. It's very few people who listen to reason, it seems like. Or maybe it's just the propaganda that they're shooting at us, you know? Because even if you don't follow these people on social media, for example, they'll follow you. You know, they'll come after you. They got your number. They got your email address. They got your social media handles, and they'll come after you. You know, if not directly by sending the FBI at your door, at least they'll bombard you with all this propaganda. And it's amazing the force they have. I mean, J.D. Vance, the guy that Trump picked for vice president, is amazing. You know, he's articulate, he's cool. I've seen him sit down with several journalists on the far left media, whether it's CNN or MSNBC or whatever it is, and they attack him, they try to put him in a corner, and he always comes out smelling like a rose. The guy is, very intelligent, very articulate, and he knows what he's talking about. But I'm not saying who is listening to reason today. everybody, or a lot of people, are controlled by their emotions. So they're controlled by how they feel. Does it feel good? And they want to party. They want to have a good time. They want free stuff from the government. And, the government says, yeah, you can party, you can do whatever you want to do. There's no moral compass. God is dead. And we'll give you, enough money to live on. A living wage is one of the expressions they put out all the time, meaning you don't have to work, or if you want to work, you can, but everybody's going to get, money. Everybody's going to get paid. And if you want to do nothing, you'll get paid for doing nothing. It's all this propaganda about this Marxist, socialist, communist pie in the sky that does not exist. It only brings suffering, misery, and death. And the more people that fall into this trap, the more we're getting close to a civil war in this country. Because if Kamala, this is the way I figure it, if Kamala and Timmy get into power, it will be not a pseudo-communist state like it is now, but a full-fledged tyrannical Marxist society like you have in China or Russia or in some countries in South America, Venezuela, for example, where they stay in power. Maduro lost the last election, but he's going to stay in power because it's all fixed. So everything's affixed, everything's controlled, and all you can do is be passive, and if you speak out, like in England now, if you speak out, you get fined, you get put in jail. Tyranny rules in so many places in the world today. And even here in the United States, it's become more and more popular to be tyrannical, even though a lot of people don't see it as tyranny. They see it as, oh yeah, I can do what I want to do morally, and you give me, and I'll shut up. It's like the Matrix, you know what I mean? Yeah, give me the steak, and I'll take the blue pill. No problem. I don't want to see reality, A lot of people like that. They just don't want to see reality because it's disturbing, right? They don't want to face up to the facts. And, there's a lot of intrigue. And in the same light, if you're Jewish, you're getting ready to celebrate Tisha B'Av, which starts tonight. And we fast for 24 hours, or 25 hours, actually. And maybe the whole country, United States, should fast because, we need redemption from all the evil out there. But of course, Tisha B'Av is about all the bad things that happened to the Jews. They lost the temples during that period. They had bad report from the spies. You remember when they were in the desert and the spies came back right at the beginning of their exodus in the desert, and they said, "Oh, you can't go into Israel. They got giants. There's too many people there. They got all kinds of weapons. We can't." They had no faith. And of course, they had to wander 40 more years in the desert before they finally reached the promised land, and all those people who started out had passed away. It was the next generation. So, we fast to remember, to be solemn. We do lamentations and stuff like that because evil can take over, disharmony can take over. And when you're not unified, that's the whole thing. You have to win against evil, good people have to unify. And when there's division, as much as it is in the United States, of course there's division in Israel too, but especially in the United States, there can be harmony and things become destructive very easily. Now there's a story told by the rabbi about how disunity destroys, and it can start on the grassroots. There's a story that comes from before the Second Temple was destroyed under the Roman occupation. There was this guy named Cosby and Ben Cosby. There were two guys. And they both knew this guy who was having a party. And it was, it was a well-established guy, and he wanted to invite all his friends in. He liked Cosby, but if I'm mispronouncing these guys' names, please forgive me. But if he loved this guy, we'll call him Cosby. But he hated Ben Cosby. He couldn't stand him. So he sent out invitations to the party. And this is in Gomorrah, I believe. And he sent up invitations to the party, and he sent the invitation to his enemy by mistake. So his enemy shows up. Cosby didn't show up, but his enemy showed up, Ben Cosby. And the guy looked at him and said, "You can't come in here. I can't stand you. Get out of here." And the guy didn't want to be embarrassed because he had all these, influential people at the party, all the rock stars, et cetera, of the day, and big politicians or whatever. And he said, I'll pay for half of the party. He said, "No, I don't want you. Get out of here." He said, "I'll pay for the whole party." And he kept on begging not to kick him out and make him embarrassed. And one of those, I guess the bodyguards there, whatever, just took him out and threw him out in the street. Well, the guy got so pissed off, he went to the Romans. He said, "You know all the legalities this guy is into? You got to look into this guy." And that started the whole movement against Israel from the Roman side. Of course, the Romans were occupying more or less most of the land, but this stirred up the Romans to attack, basically, in the end, Israel, and they finally destroyed the Second Temple. So just because of that one argument, that grassroots argument, the whole temple was destroyed, and eventually all the Jews were kicked out of Israel, or most of them anyway, although they said there was always remnants of Jews in Israel. So you go to see, when you have disharmony, when you have friction between two sides to such an extent, it can bring the whole house down. So you can see the friction between the left and the right in the United States right now. And it's very possible it's going to bring the whole house down. Because, like I say, if Harris and Timmy Boy get elected, there are going to be states like Texas, like Florida, they're going to say, we can't take this tyranny. We can't take this fascism. And they're going to break away. I can see this possibly happening, like in the first Civil War, when the southern states broke away from the North because the North didn't want the southern states to continue with the slavery. But now it's the North that is enslaving us. So they are the enslavers with their Marxism and communism. So I can see this happening here. So let's all pray and help in every way you can to bring sanity, to bring reason back to the United States of America. Heaven help us. Anyway, this is my little 2 cents for today. Again, this is Robert Jeter on the Blues and the News. And just remember, love and peace is the answer, and hate is the enemy. And maybe all along the watchtower, I must be some way out of here, right? It's a little cover I did and undid.
There must be some kind of way out of here, said a joker to the thief. There's too much confusion, how can I get no relief? Begging men, they drink my wine, and plowmen dig my herbs, but none of them along the line, no one in any of his world. Excited, the thief he kindly spoke. There are many